Hey, fans of the framework, how are you today? It's Jane McLeod, and I'm back with a quarterly resiliency series all about you. And this is per your request. You asked for some lives to be focused on a leader's resiliency at least quarterly, and so I'm there for you. I'm glad to do it. So my whole August is going to be is called Grace Under Fire, a leader's resiliency. And every week we'll talk about something different. How to make it so that you live well by eating well, sleeping well, and moving well. So this is going to be just a little bit different this month because I'm going to challenge you. You're going to have homework in between, right? What small steps can you take? And I want to hear from you. Do you feel better as a result of it? You know, what happens in between our lives every week when we get to virtually see each other? So it's going to be just a little bit different, and I'm going to start right today with a homework assignment for you. So first, let's start with the why, okay? And why it is so prevalent, okay? We know that 1 in 3 people who work in healthcare, whether you have your hands on the patient or you have your hands on the people with their hands on the patient, not specifically leaders, are suffering from burnout, 1 in 3. And so it's obviously a nationwide problem and something that we really truly do need to focus on and pay attention. But I really want to focus on you as leaders today and the why behind that. The first thing is that we are, as leaders, high performing, high achieving men and women, okay? That our expectation of ourselves is likely higher. You have high expectations of people around you, likely your family members, likely those people that live with you, that you were raised with, and you know, but your highest expectation likely centers on yourself, okay? So when that happens, you're not as likely to forgive yourself. You're not as likely to be accepting of yourself when you simply can't do everything, when you can't do everything that you want to do and achieve, and you can't be everything to everybody. So, you know, what happens is you tend to avoid doing those things that make you feel like a failure. And what I would like you to see through this Facebook Live that we're doing today is that you can see less and do less and achieve just as much more, right? Less is the new more. Less is the new more, even when it comes to preventing burnout, okay? So the second reason why, you know, we in healthcare leadership tend to suffer from burnout is that we are bullied more often. So Sue and I found this out when we were doing research for the 4-hour pre-conference on bullying and incivility in the surgical suite we were asked to do by OR manager. And what I was astounded, not surprised to find out, but astounded that the research shows that actually it's the highest performing people, leaders, the highest achieving in a work group that are bullied more often. But yet if you look at also what the research is that bullying happens more often from a leader to an employee. That's 42% of the time. But I'm here to tell you, based on my personal experience and based on the personal experience of other leaders that I've spoken to, is that at some point we likely, with the lateral violence that is prevalent in our workplaces and healthcare, that likely we have suffered some form of bullying. And maybe it didn't happen when we were at work. Maybe it happened when we were in school. So it kind of makes you think, doesn't it? As I was preparing for this today, it's like, why would we ever encourage our children to be high performing? It's like, oh, stay under the radar, don't do well, right? We suffer from burnout. We suffer from being bullied. You know, we suffer, but we don't have to, right? We don't have to. So another problem is that, and another challenge to really solving this for yourself, is that no one points these things out to us. That, someone may have recognized when I was going through burnout, and when Sue was as well, that someone may have recognized that in us, but really what you think is, whew, glad it's not me this time, or wow, she's really struggling right now, like what the heck is going on with you, right? And a lot of times no one points it out to you. And because we, as high performing, overachieving leaders and men and women, tend to, why can't I get this right? Why do I feel exhausted by my work? Why am I continuously not achieving the things that I want to achieve? Or maybe you do know that burnout is happening to you and you don't see a way out of it. You don't see a way. You're on the slippery slope. You're falling down, a well shaft, and there's no strongholds. There's no footholds for you to grab onto. So what do you want? You want to be healthier, right? You want to be healthier, but something is holding you back. Something is holding you back. So what I'd like to gain over the next 4 live is a way for you to realize that you need to look at your work and your self-care as related but separate. That it's okay for you to have really high standards of integrity for yourself. It's really okay for you to want to achieve your goals, want to carry out the strategy and vision of your organization, want to be the best director, the best leader, the best boss that you can possibly be, and know that based on employee engagement survey scores or your patient satisfaction scores or the finances of your department and your organization. But you also need to know that when it comes to you and your own personal self-care and wellness and resiliency and a prevention plan for you to, prevent burnout from happening to you, that a big thing you need to practice is your own forgiveness, right? Your own forgiveness. So it doesn't take a lot of time. What's likely been holding you back from beginning a plan of self-care is that you're busy, right? Your hair on fire, crazy busy, and you put yourself last all the time. It's what we do in healthcare. It's what we do in leadership. We put ourselves last all the time. So just when your stress level is at the highest and you actually really need something that you can do to care for yourself, it's when you put it on the back burner. But what I would like to say, based on my personal experience, based on my research of people just like you and conversations I've had with all of you and people just like you, is that your expectations of this model of self-care are way too high. Right? Way too high. That you're not breaking it down in pieces. If I did one thing for myself today, what would it be? That my to-do list has self on it. I think Whitney and Sue and I have shared that with you, that we have to-do lists created, and it's called the triple SD, and one of the S's stands for self. And every day we determine what am I doing for myself today, right? So I'm going to base your homework assignments on this book, Eat, Move, Sleep by Tom Rath. And the reason why is Mr. Rath doesn't say in this book, you need to plan to run a marathon. You need to plan for a century ride. I see you, Cindy Chicker. You need to plan for these. And you know what? Those are great, big, huge, hairy, audacious goals. But when you're suffering from a loss of resiliency, when you're busy at work, busy with family, and you can only carve out so many minutes a day for yourself, those things take a lot of time. And again, remember, the why behind this is forgiveness. It's forgiveness. So how are we going to make small, minor changes in order to live well? how are we going to make small, minor changes? Now, in the homework assignment that I'm going to give you is that I need you to vision or dream what it is to make you wildly successful. And we're going to turn your vision and dream into action over the next three weeks. What can you do to achieve it? But your homework assignment for this week is to determine what that is. I'm not asking you to set a goal. I'm asking you to write down, draw, cut pictures out of a magazine, to vision it, journal it. One of those things to just say, what energizes me? What do I need to do to get my energy back, my passion for my job? Remember what burnout feels like. Burnout is being exhausted by your job, so that when you walk in the door in the evening, you have nothing left to give your family, your friends, the furry people that are wagging their tail at you. You have nothing left over. The bucket is sucked dry, right? You left it all at the office. So that's the first thing, being, very exhausted by the work that you do. It literally exhausts you. The second thing is feeling depersonalized. And how, as a leader, we depersonalize is, it's different for those people, who are serving patients and their families. They depersonalize by starting to point out the gallbladder in 5 and the chest pain in 4 and the pain in the butt sister of one of my patients, or whatever. How we just depersonalize as leaders is we begin to put people in pockets, if you will, or in groups, and we begin to depersonalize them. Like, this employee's a pain in the butt, will never get any better. This employee, is constantly whining, so I'm just going to turn her out. Right? We're depersonalizing. We're not seeing the human in everything we do. We're not finding anything to appreciate about the human in anything we do. So exhaustion, depersonalization, and the third thing is feeling like you're not good at your job anymore. You can't do it, and you're not the right person for it. How many of you have heard another leader say, I don't think I'm the right person for this job any longer? Well, what happened, right? What happened between 6 months ago when you were fired up and excited about this job, or even 6 years ago? What's happened? It's burnout, right? It's burnout. So recognizing burnout, not even thinking about it, but really, really visualizing what would happen if I had all the energy in the world. What would happen if I really truly could see people as humans and the good in them, right? To be grateful for them every day. And most importantly, what would I need? What would it feel like for me to feel really great at my job? Like I do it really, really well. Knowing that you can't have more than 24 hours in a day, right? Time priority, energy management. So your job takes tremendous energy. Vision for me in the next 7 days. What does that energy look like, right? What does it take? How will you feel? What will you be doing, right? What does it take? Okay. So I'm so darn glad that you asked for a resiliency topic to return. Woo, woo, woo. Sue and I have both experienced burnout, and it cost us to leave jobs that we love. So one of the main reasons for us forming our company, Capstone Leadership Solutions, is that we believe in the power of leadership. We also know that in order for organizations to be great, that leaders are key to that. Strong, effective leaders are key to that. And not only leaders who put themselves first, they forgive themselves on a daily basis. They understand their potential and what makes them so great and the gifts that they have. And they role model it for others, right? We haven't even talked about how we're supposed to be leading from a place of resiliency. So we got to get you to take care of yourself first, and then we'll do that. We believe in this vision so strongly that it's part of our framework for achieving great results. And it's also part of our leadership bundle, so that when organizations partner with us at Capstone Leadership Solutions, they not only live and breathe a leadership bundle that teaches leaders how to lead around here and how to focus on leadership, not the tasks of management, but also part of a leadership is caring for yourself first. So let's get started. First, your vision, write it down, send it to me if you want to. I would love to see it. And then next week we start on eating, sleeping, and moving well. Have a great day.